I'll pull it back up. Back here.
I can hear you, but all I see is the room.
Yeah, it's not. It's pulling it up. Is it there now?
Yep, your all your apps are showing up. Yeah.
The presentation, you can't see it.
Correct. Your computer screen is all I see with the guy with his swimming in the water. And now there's the room.
How about that?
And virtual hybrid meetings.
That's up. Okay. Thank you for that feedback.
Yep.
So you guys have already signed in. Thank you very much for that. Welcome to the Randolph UCC for October of 2022. I'll just add your name, Joel and Trent, to the sign-in roster here. Populate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
So this month, we want to highlight, it's also a month for tackling hunger, and there's some things that you can do to help out. So you can donate. It says non-perishable, but everything is perishable, right? Everything has a shelf life. But these actually stay on the shelf a little bit longer than stuff that has to be refrigerated. So canned goods, peanut butter, dry beans, brown rice, olive oil, those are just some of the things that you can donate to the local shelters to help folks who are less fortunate than ourselves. If you don't feel like going out and shopping for them, you can actually donate money to the shelter and let them go out and do the shopping themselves. Sometimes that may be a better idea, because if they've got some partnerships with the local grocery stores, then they might give them a discount on purchases that they make within those stores, which is always a good thing, right? It makes their dollar go further. Last but not least, you can support the food banks by actually donating your time and energy to them to help with that need. So if you want to know more, or if you do anything on social media for that, this month, just go to hashtag Tackling Hunger Month, so it gets tagged and you can spread the love to the folks who are following you. We've got some Halloween safety tips here. Make sure you have a way to reach your kids, especially if they're older, they're out in the neighborhood by themselves. They can reach out to you, or you can reach out to them. Make sure you check the treats before eating them, not only for the kids, but for the adults too, because you just never know out there nowadays. If you're going to be out driving, drive carefully. I like to play the what if game. If the kid pops out between cars that are on your side, you know, what will I do? What if that happens? What if the ball rolls out? What if somebody runs across the street? So just drive super careful that night, knowing that there's going to be a lot of kids out. Make sure they're wearing light colored clothing and or carrying some type of reflective light. This is a flashlight. You can do best. I've suggested some Kim lights you take it. They come in different colors. You snap them, you shake them. They're good for anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, and kids like them too. If your kids have a food allergy, make sure they're not eating anything that could cause a severe reaction to that. Giving out candy, make sure you keep your night on, or night light on, or lights on at night so the folks know that you're available. They can go to your house. If you're going away on your security system, you know, there's a little bit of mischief that takes place during Halloween. The tricks, mostly the trickers, not so much the treaters. You may want to ensure that you adjust your security camera to cover areas where it may not cover or it's not well lit, just to capture anything, especially if you're inside. I see something going on, you can go put a stop to it. Last but not least, make sure you use common sense. I jokingly said when we was going over these slides, but that leaves a lot of people out when we're talking about this stuff. But yeah, just use common sense where you need to. Mr. Lewis Payne's got a word for us. So volume is continuing to climb. Let's remember the 3 C's: stay calm, continuous, and communicate. Right? And we're going to touch on the communication part in a slide, a couple more down the road here. Letters are going out to those who are excavating without a ticket, right? They're supposed to be professional excavators, but for whatever reason, they're going out there and they're doing damages without having tickets that's valid. And they're working on understanding why of a no call. The CGA is going to release their report this month. It's supposed to be it's supposed to come out last month, but now they're saying this month, and it's supposed to be prior to the CGA annual meeting in San Antonio, which is taking place October the 18th, next week. So just look forward to that. We're looking forward to a news liaison, Mr. Tyler, and I cannot remember his last name, but he's going to be helping out and taking over the western part of the state, which is good because right now some of us are doing double duty, covering down on hours and then having to cover down on some of those that are taking part of the western state. So we can't wait to get him in here and up to speed. Last but not least, enjoy the onset of fall. It is beautiful out there, folks. I'd rather be out there right now than in here. Well, no, I love you guys. I like coming in and talk to y'all too. So just last but not least, stay safe out there. Extraordinary circumstances, we had a couple of them that were declared when the remnants of Hurricane Ian come through. And if you want to know if anybody has declared a extraordinary circumstance, you can always go to the 811 website, go to the resources and member services, and you'll tell there is a spreadsheet kept there, and you can even go see some of the past ones. You can see when the extraordinary circumstance was asked for and when it's supposed to end. It was only a couple people. So I cheat when I go to the 811 webpage. I type in a little search bar up there. It'll be at the top up here, extraordinary, and hit enter, and it takes me to that page as well. So there's two ways you can get to it. Here is another reminder. Again, I told you we were going to touch on it. Confirm Valor, make sure you have good caller information on the request, right? So if I'm a professional excavator and I've got Lucy in the office calling stuff in for me, we want to make sure that Lucy's information is not on there, because when somebody has a question out in the field, whether it's a locator or the utility owner, they're going to call Lucy, and Lucy says, well, I don't know, they just told me to call it in, right? So make sure whoever is the supervisor, crew lead, however verbiage you're using, make sure their contact information along with the phone number is on that request and not Lucy's in the office, as an example. That, again, that goes back to the communication part. ID marks, you're still getting calls that folks aren't putting their operator ID on there, and as well as their size of the pipe. If it's greater than 4 inches, it has to be annotated every 50 foot. Remember that beginning, the end, and every 50 foot in between there. And at a minimum, if it's 4 inches or less, they still have to put the name of the operator on there, and that's got to be beginning, the end, and every 200 linear foot. So this is the FYI. That was a law change that actually happened in October of 2019, and we tell folks about it, and they scratch their head and they say, really? And we have to tell them yes. So we try to put the word out best we could. Obviously, COVID put a damper on a lot of that stuff in 2020 and 2021. We're back out in the field in 2022 and spreading the word. So if you're running into anybody or request to locate and you see that it's not happening, reach out to us and we can reach out to that utility and make sure that either they're internally locating it with these two things or externally to a contractor to make sure they're putting their operator ID on there. All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers. So as you can see here, this is the Crawford State of North Carolina. We're going to be looking at September last month versus 2021. And as you can see, there has been a 7.8% increase in the tickets that were requested last month. Again, just like Lewis alluded to, their volume is increasing. Year to date, it's a 6.8, so that's going to be from January to the end of last month. Transmissions, a 4.8% increase in those requests, and 3.2 year to date. As a quick reminder, for every ticket that is requested, there's approximately 5.6 transmissions that go out to the utility owner. And that's why there is always a difference. So we're looking at Randolph. You can see the 3 hour went from 32 to 102. So evidently, they're having trouble getting out there within that 3 working day request. And they're having to pull up 3 hour. New tickets increased as well, 17.7%, 1,367 tickets requested last month. And unfortunately, the ticket updates went up as well, 23.5%. The average locates per day in Randolph, 82. And year to date, the 3 hour, again, part of the increase. We saw some last month, but year to date has increased almost 600% or 600 to 90.3%. The new tickets, again, 11,682 so far this year, 8.1% increase. And the ticket update, 46.5%. Average location per day year to date, 87. So out of the 1,887 that requested last month, obviously Asheboro at 682. You see Arcell had a request there in triple digits. Liberty, Randleman, and Trinity. Well, I forgot to highlight this, but Randolph had 16 incidents or damages that were reported to 811 last month, 16. So just the FYI, make sure that if you're talking to folks out there as an excavator and they're doing a damage to your facility, per North Carolina law, they're supposed to call 811 to report that damage. So we are asking the utilities to follow up with 811 to ensure that it did get captured. That UCC is going to be November the 8th. That's going to be at Dominion Energy, in Asheville, North Carolina. That's 15 Overland Industrial Boulevard. That does start at 10. The Underground Damage Prevention Review Board is going to meet Tuesday, October the 18th, coming up. That's going to be at the NC 811 Event Center, and that does start at 10. The NC 811 board meeting is going to take place at the Ballas Hotel in Wilmington. You can reach out to Stephanie Brown if you would like to attend. And I believe that may be a hybrid meeting. That's going to run from 8:30 to 11, or really until complete. And the LRPC, the North Carolina Locate Resolution Partnership Committee, is going to meet next month, Wednesday, November the 16th. That's going to be at the Greensboro Event Center as well, from 11 till 1. Again, if you would like to attend that virtually, there is a link on the NC UCC calendar website. So you can still be in your truck or office like you two gentlemen are doing now and still attend that. Hopefully, if you are a fan of social media, you had a chance to go out and check out the Safe Digging Sports site with 811. We are going to be at the NC State game October 27th. I've been informed by my supervisor that I will be taking the little mini excavator out there that day. So we are going to be super duper busy, not only interacting with folks, but letting everybody ride the little mini excavator as well. So it should be a big time. And if you're in the area, come check us out. Hey, we want to remind everybody that elections are coming up. So please do your part, go out and vote. And also, as a heightened awareness campaign, if you have utilities, power, especially in communications within those areas, make sure if somebody's digging around there, they have a valid ticket. You can use your NC 811 app, do the near ticket. If they don't, shut them down, right? Because these votes are very important. They kind of set direction policy for the country depending on who's in power. But we want to make sure that everybody's vote is counted. And obviously, we don't want any damages to the infrastructure or utilities that support those polls. As always, invite your coworker or a colleague to the local UCC. Attendance is for whatever reason, is slow to come back since the pandemic. And we had a fairly good amount of folks. 2019, and I started probably 5 months before the pandemic hit. And I went out on surgery and came back and like, yeah, we're not meeting anymore. For a couple of years, we were having to meet virtually, which, we made it happen. But a lot of folks don't like to meet virtually, especially in the western part of North Carolina, for whatever reason. So we're back in person again. I'm trying to do a hybrid where I can to get as many folks on here as possible. So I know it makes it possible for a lot of folks to attend if they are offered the virtual option. As always, if you want to know what's going on within the NCAA world, there's the app, the website, or the NCUCC calendar to check out the events. There's your good-looking education team led by Miss Ann Rushing. I got to get a makeup artist. I got a little bit of grease on my head up here. I must have been working hard that. I could be sweat. That's what it is sweat. I was working hard that day when I took that photo. And that's what I'm sticking with. Sweat. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Again, a copy of this presentation along with the PDF and the sign-in roster will be uploaded to the NCUCC website for your further viewing pleasure. Please grab a hold of it and share it with anybody you think would like to know some of the numbers or happening on that's going on within NCUCC. All right. So we'll back over here. I'm going to stop sharing. And then I am going to open this up. Is there any old business that we need to discuss from last month? Any old business? Scott, who is the chair for this, said he couldn't be here today. They've got a manual review. I got him an email this morning and he's got it back. Yeah, he'd be out of pocket today. All right, any new business and new business could be, hey, projects got going on, issues we're having with locate. I know, Joe, you always cover the damages for P&G in the area. So hopefully we don't have any of those.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. In the Greensboro Operations Center, which is part of Randolph, Randolph's under that. There were 11 damages to the gas system in September. 4 were due to inaccurate or insufficient locates. 3 were from excavators, and those 3 were from no notification. And then there was 1 unlocatable facility that was damaged. So 11 total damages in the month of September.
I know we had some discussion around it before. On your unlocatable, and it takes a hot minute for that thing to circle back around for folks to go out and try to locate that. So they called the locate in, was unlocatable, and they just couldn't wait. They went ahead and started the excavate.
Yeah, Parrish, sometimes that's the situation. I don't have the information as to the reason for this one, but another thing that happens with an unlocatable, it may not have been on our records, the maps. And so it might have been reported as no conflict, but there, lo and behold, there was an old service that was stated to be abandoned, and it wasn't properly abandoned. It could have been several things. So it's just mentioned as one unlocatable was damaged.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Great. You guys got any projects going on? Any issues out in the field?
64 projects about to start up sometime in the next couple of weeks. From 40.
What are they doing on 64?
Super streets.
Say that again?
Super streets.
Super streets?
Yes, super streets.
I don't understand. I'm not familiar with that.
It's the ones where you cannot make a left-hand turn. You turn right and go down and turn back around like a U-turn,
Oh, they're taking away with the crossovers.
Yes. Yep.
And they call them super streets?
Yep, super streets.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, safer way.
Okay, yeah.
And
it is. It's a lot of wear and tear on cars.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's 64 going from where to where?
From the 49 overpass to the new 64 bypass.
Okay.
And then, of course, Pine
So
View
is that
Street.
where you'd have to, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My question is, so I could understand, there's no left turn. You have to turn right to go left. Is that how that is?
Yes, you take a right-hand turn and go down into there'll be a place you can do a U-turn at, like down the road just a little ways.
I spent time in Michigan for a while. they call those Michigan left turns because I had never seen that anywhere else but Michigan.
Yeah.
That's
They've
interesting.
done some of
And
it
it
on
does
highway.
make it safer.
Yeah, they done it on Highway 85 or Business 2970 in the Davidson County area.
I mean, they're definitely safer. It's just it's the pain really having to go down the road to do a U-turn, but it's safer though.
Anything else, buddy?
Of course, Pineview Street's going to start up sometime next couple weeks, and then Fayetteville Street's coming up too. And it's supposed to start the end of the year.
Fayetteville and Pineview. Are you guys resurfacing that?
Fayetteville Street is going to be kind of like the super streets in a way. They're going to redo a couple intersections at the Armory on Fayetteville Street. And then Pineview Street is going to be a 4-lane through there.
It's currently a 2-lane now?
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna make people mad then.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not a 4-lane, a center turn lane through there. I'm sorry, a center turn lane.
Okay, so it'll be 3 lanes?
Yes.
Okay. You
But
don't make
still,
too many people mad.
I'm sure somebody will be upset about that. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Jeff, you guys got anything going on in here? I know you said you're busy with the locates.
Oh, well, we do all locates, so sort of 5 different counties, so it takes pretty busy. But, no, not much that I'm aware of. We just got through the hurricane. Kind of got pretty good damage. We had about 30% of the people out for a few days, but
30%?
I think so at one time.
Okay.
Get back to normal.
You guys didn't have to declare an extraordinary circumstance on your locate.
I don't know if that's gonna go to a FEMA event. We feel like maybe Randolph and what we've done, we make a FEMA event. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the event, but, you know.
Well, it's mostly for locates.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able to get out of locate because of extraordinary circumstance. Then they
No,
push back on the
locators get happen on the weekend, so we're back to pretty much normal work, Monday, probably doing some locates Monday too.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, folks, unless anybody has anything else. Now, Mr. Overcash, I won't be here next month, but Mr. Overcash, I told him I will put the presentation together and send it to him. And he is supposed to send the invites out for the team platform using his invite. So I'll reach back out to him. He's gonna have it, I guess he's gonna be here in person if you want to show up in person, as well as the team platform as well. So just be advised that I'll be out of pocket and he'll be presenting and running the whole show. Okay?
Okay.
All right, guys, and that's still gonna be the 8th of next month. I know a lot of them got canceled for next month, for that week, because I'm not gonna be here. But Scott said he wanted to do it, so the 8th at 1:30. Everybody stay safe and have a happy Halloween till then. And you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, because I won't see you before then. All right, guys.
No, go stuff yourself. Go stuff yourself.
All right, thank you.